member. Said SACCO has a charge against title and benefit of the August House and the general public. I have annexed copies of the agreement of sale marked RG9, letter dated 15 July 2024 from Solid SACCO Limited, confirming that as a purchase marked annexure RG dairy farm in Nyandarua County. Response is, I do not have a dairy farm in county, therefore the land in Nyandarua has no animal. Companies. Motion alleges there are 22 companies that have been used massively to launder money and proceeds of crime, corruption, and benefit. Responses of the motion has listed companies and has alleged that they massively money and crime, corruption, and benefit have carefully gone and have not any evidence, support, or allegation. Not clear to me how, without having seen any evidence incriminating companies. I'd like to be clear, companies have not been involved in any illegal, and I believe that is why the movement has not tabled any evidence of impropriety respect to the companies. It does appear to me that the mover of the motion so meticulous to get all the companies associated and my family. And I believe that he also had evidence legalities by the company. He would have shared or tabled that for the record. However, it is not possible to get evidence of illegality where there is none. Having said the above, allow me just to mention a few companies. Many, the Gachagua Foundation, the foundation are incorporated in 2022. I clarify that the foundation is a non-profit entity. Sole objective of lives less privilege. Foundation therefore does not trade. Honorable members, you are aware that by law, the foundation cannot be. This incorporation, the foundation has received 12 million, which has been utilized as per the schedule marked Annex RG 11, in school, one university, and other universities across the country. Talkers regarding the foundation, because she's not herself, this is a foundation founded by Pastor Doc, incorporated immediately came into office, non-profit making entity, the sole purpose of rehabilitation of drug addicts, widows, for mothers and orphans. Brief write-up of this foundation, together with its achievements, is annexed here with Annexure RG12. Public domain that doctors have been around the country doing work of drug addicts and helping others challenges. There are many other companies that are here that I don't house of record. I don't want to parliament going through all of them. The out Wamonyoro Investments Limited, named Wamonyoro. Company was in 1 years ago. Deputy company that holds family property. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've been accused of exerting influence in the Ministry of Lands to and a lot that were limited using the case. Response, sir, and members wish to confirm that Investments Limited never been issued any letter of allotment. Euro Investments Limited purchased this land, third party, in the year 2012. Company's ownership of this property has been confirmed through 2 legal processes. One, case was filed before the National Land Commission in the year 2016, adjudicated and determined that property belongs to Euro Investments Limited. That was long before. In matter was filed in High Court case, ELC case number E, which was filed before I became. All the documents filed in case, filed in court, president, and no documents have been filed by my. This being the case, I have used as deputy president to manufacture documents. High Court found that legal investment limited and issued the. This matter has challenged. I invite any honorable member enjoy of the liberty. Sir, have been accused of regular procurement of nets at a response to 45, 7, and 4, paragraph 7, 7 and 37. Not true as claimed in this affidavit and room that I was involved in the KEMSA billion regular procurement of either directly or further. Bika Impacts Limited was the subject tender as the acting director of procurement. I later 5th May 20 formally notified Bika Impacts Limited. Bid was unsuccessful because its tender security was not paginated and the tender was hence non-responsive. But it's clear at paragraph 4 of the affidavit, he contradicts claiming that I pressured him to surrender the bid board. Yet by the letter dated 5th May 2020, KEMSA had requested for collection of the bid. Thus, there was no pressure started on any other. I'm aware of a foreign company known as Impact Limited, domiciled in India, and which appointed Crystal Kenya Limited as its local agent the year 20, that is 8 years before the Gachagua. Crystal has complied with the agency terms between private limited. Next here to RG18, an appointment by Shopika time in 2023, Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, Mall and supply of long-lasting nets. National government on behalf of the monies for supply of the nets as standing was grant from the. I am aware that Shopika Impacts Limited still participates and has not been barred by the. I believe technically qualified and subject document having the ability to and without their participation or assistance limited Impacts Private Limited independently participate submitted in its in response tender. Having not participated in the subject tender, Crystal Kenya Limited did not submit any of the documents in response to the subject tender. Specifically, Crystal Kenya Limited did not bid board tender security name in response. Therefore, not true. Crystal Kenya submitted a bid board with an intention to fraudulently acquire public. It's also not true that with my sons, I use Crystal Kenya to massively launder money, still prosecute crime, engage in corruption, benefit. Subsequently, by the letter 5th May 2023, KEMSA notified Shopika Impact Limited that it was not successful because the tender submitted and requested Shopika Impacts Private Limited let its bid security government office immediately. Next here too, Act and RG is a same letter by KEMSA dated. However, EACC commenced investigation of the subject tender, and on conclusion of the investigation and the Senate on the subject tender, KEMSA C. Tere Ramadhani, who had been suspended on the appointed Kenya's Deputy High Commissioner in New Delhi, India. Thereafter, Crystal Kenya Limited, Ashobika Impex Limited, agent in Kenya, followed up in the release of Impex bid board tender on behalf of Shopee. Next year to an and marked annexure RG, an email from Shopee Impex Private Limited, addressed to Crystal Kenya Limited, together with a letter of even date confirming Kenya Limited had authority to elect their KEMSA was mandated court tender on determining the impacts Limited was unsuccessful subject tender. That is why they requested them be collected from government. KEMSA did as can be seen letter dated 11 July 2022. Next year to and marked an RG21 letter by KEMSA dated 11 July 2022. Noting that Shobika Impex Private Limited, it did not supply any goods and it did not public payment their respect. Accordingly, have not any crime and by 128(1) Corruption and Act 5 proceeds of crime and laundering Act. Further, I have not for leadership Act in the state tender and specific evidence that of ground 11 of the most edges someone and is instructing them services. I have been a necessary and expected. In Karen and firstly, I would like to state thanks for of the official based on the fact premises had been inspected very long time. Cannot be fair. This house would be because action that these members act for establishment dated 20 signed by President and President Limited that was tender was the controller of State House, judge of the report of the Auditor General, Ms. Nancy Mungo, dated 20 January 20 on the executive president for aided gave the opinion confirming compliance with the public finance annexed herewith and marks as annex. Also like to add that the deputy president, as deputy president, I'm not involved in government processes of my office that directly. Also like to state that I do not know the company, AgroPric Investments. I do not directors and the company. I did not tendering motion dated 20 December 2024 edges that on 29th January 2023, 5 million Kenya shillings had Bayani Enterprises Limited, which is purpose used by me to see. No evidence whatsoever is contained in the company or that have any benefit interest in the said company. I am neither a director or a shareholder. I categorically refuse to also confirm our shareholder directly or company Agro Limited shareholder or its director as an allegation requiring substantial 100 billion just like other matter. I have read the motion. Like to state no evidence. This company is historically state no benefit interest in the city. Neither have I affiliate way directors and like to state that I'm not director or shareholder of the company and do not know its director. I do not sit in, I am not the accounting president. I have also not had any is a manner in which company are able to confirm the allegation once with the account of the company since I'm not a company dated December 2024 claims that I'm reasonably suspected to be of the whoever Mr. No evidence or annex them give credits to carry refute wiring of to lose limited for the have been accused and through as rehabilitation responsibility dated 20 December 2020 makes a claim that a 1 million rehabilitation center and psychiatric hospital, then subsequent remote claims that it is that transferred by me to funds and the payment typified. Not a director or shareholder of the company, never received. Similarly, I'm not affiliated or related to the shareholders and directors of the. No evidence has been annexed to the point out accounting officer, president. I'm not aware that the petition is therefore false and unfair. There is an accusation edged at force, at force response, alleging the on page force violation, publicly attack the honor minor, first pass at 16 Article 5 of advise that the judge can liable in of their work. This provision is not a bar on freedom of expression, either Article 33 of the Constitution, nor a bar of the right to seek redress legal wrongs simply because a wrong is committed. Exit multiple legal fora, take action against a judge for inactions that are not. Statements were protected speech consequent to a judge in a matter involving my personal assets, which I disagreed with and found to be unfair. Matter having been at that stage of the decision was this, nor in any manner prohibited. While I respected the ruling of the learned judge, I was in absolute disagreement. Contrary to the assertions, I did not forcefully threaten to action against. I took actual legal action. Kenya, Article 160B of the Constitution allows any person to petition the Judicial Service Commission or removal of any judge and filed a legal complaint for the Judicial Service Commission in March 2020. Complaint being live before the discussion of the learned judge in the manner here would be sub judice. Copy of the herewith marked Annexure RG. I have been diverting materials meant highway, tarmac a private road. Response what is my late brother Gachagua Impeachment. King Charles III visited Kenya between 30th November. During his state visit, one of the designated places where King Charles III was to Marine Conservancy. Yes, I have annexed a copy of Kenya Charles III, marked Annex RG25, that page items and 60. Says departure and arrival at Kuritu Marine. Several media reports confirming the King Charles III. Extracts of the media reports, newspaper, African news. My understanding is that the conservancy was upgraded in respect of this visit, also benefit local community in Yani secondary, Yani primary, mosque and a public market as part of the corporate. Point out that the alleged road that is Yani Vipo, a public, not a private road. That the President have been of undermining the president and the cabinet. Allegedly statements, cabinet of the people. Article 1 is that the president shall be president, deputize the president of the president. Article 28 person inherent right to have the dignity. Article 29C, every person has the right person with right not to be violence, either public or Section 15G1 of the Act states that notwithstanding it, contrary in this act or the other written or eviction carried out in a with the following identification or demolition. B, authorization action. C, government of all their representatives present during an eviction. D, be carried out in a manner that respects the dignity, right to life and respected. E, special measures by effect protection the people who are vulnerable, such as women, then the elderly and persons, include measures to ensure that there is possession of property or possession, includes mechanisms to protect property and possessions behind involuntary destruction, protect the principles of necessity and proportionality during the use of force, affected persons, abolish. To carry our constitution provides 147 2. First, the deputy president shall perform functions conferred by this and any other functions. Pursuant to Article 3, I, as well as every other citizen of Kenya and state public office, have an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend this constitution in performing any of my. These national values and principles of governance, in Article 10 of the Constitution, by those state organs, public office, or persons, myself, wherever we make an or implement public. In addition to this matter, Mr. Speaker, this national values and procedures include of law, democracy, human dignity, equity, justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, and protection. Adherence to this become extremely important when our state officers are contemplating illegal evacuation to avoid human force that will be contrary to our constitution and international. While campaigning with President William Ruto, and subsequently when I was so, President and I promised of the Kenya Kwanza government that there will be no forced or that all evictions will be human legal complaint. Speaker, also the Deputy President has undertaken extensive engagement with all parties in that cabinet decision on eviction, which I fully support, including an entity under the office of the President and the county. Adherence to this become extremely important. We officers are contemplating legal evacuation of the duty to avoid inhuman force that will be contrary to our and international law. Guideline number 6 of the United Nations General Assembly guidelines, the implementation of the rights to adequate housing, post eviction, and at the state that any eviction under domestic law compliant with guidelines further require meaningful engagement with communities so that the rights of residents are implemented cooperatively without the need for procedures. Of comment on the eviction, save for the fact that on being informed that the persons residing along Nairobi River evicted and paid 10,000 shillings only, I and many other Kenyans felt adequate. I insisted government abide by the and international norms, implementing in cabinet, including the dignity of Kenyans facing. Statements did not and to undermine the president by insisting or should not be evicted. Finally, have been accused of undermining, allegedly holding. Motion alleges that on December 24, I unlawfully interfered with the government, holding a public rally where I allegedly incited citizens against law directives, county government, planning, and location. Response, Mr. Speaker, that the motion alleges that on December 24, I unlawfully interfered with the running of the government, allegedly inciting. Article 6 of the Constitution provides that the government at national and county levels are distinct and independent and shall conduct their mutual. This being the case, it cannot be said that someone from the national government may comment on matters relating to county government. Leaders had sought me out to intervene and request the governor on their behalf, dialogue with them, and seek a solution to grievances that nation. Request video next RG video made for the members. as was just drawn have a page and like you to 1 and 2. That was President Ruto, same language as Deputy Ruto, and for video, so I think crying. President is being accused, meaning he's just doing what it. Speaker, leadership of Nairobi business traders approached sometime in March. Other official residents discussed multiple issues affecting unrequested engagement in. Consequent to this meeting, I directed that short, medium, and long-term strategies be undertaken, coordinated by the President, to address the issues raised cut across various agencies in KRA, Kenya Post Authority, Kenya Bureau of Standards, and Kenya Corporate. 11th April 2024, the Small Traders and Government Agencies Technical Committee, headed by my office, held a meeting to discuss issues, including Mudhuru Market, headed by the Office of the Deputy President staff, in a supportive role in draft framework and engagement with government, Nairobi City County Government, and Nairobi. Subsequent, this is clear that my office have been having meetings. Governor of Nairobi, various matters affect, and hence, Deputy President can. Mr. Speaker, I've been accused of undermining devolution. I allegedly hold meetings house is specific charge mining meetings as it is. But to me, that moment, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that will be the. I did not attribute calling it this particular charge. Drug and alcohol problem in Kenya has been increased, and many of our youth have become addicted to alcohol, lives because it causes them to do out of crime. I'm a strong advocate for youth rehabilitation, alcohol, and I continue to encourage support in order to save. With regard to alcohol control and regulation, I wish to state that I held several meetings, governors, Meru Chuk, in Mombasa, in Nakuru, in Nyeri, and the efforts that President William Ruto asked me to in eradication of illicit has been very successful, and we are working with the governors, counties, have been developing legislation through licensing. There is one program that has had best working relationship between county government and the national government. I'm a bit emotive about illicit. And was another take it. I don't know charge evidence of any deputy president is with the devolution illicit. Whatever this house happens to continue. Want us to watch video ORG4? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Very clear. Meeting had all governors, Parliament were there, and everybody, and we were all in agreement. All has been won. Cannot, but President should. Sensational statements against the National Intelligence Service, General during the assumption of office, I took an oath of allegiance, both solemn affirmation agents, President, President. The realization of my calling, I as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, where I solemnly affirm they preserve, protect, and defend this Kenya as by law established, no other laws of the Republic, protect and integrity, dignity of the help me God. That is Article 9 provides that in performing their functions and exercising their powers, national security organs and every member of the national security shall not act in a partisan manner, further in the interest of a political party or cause or prejudice interests of political. Article 239, Subarticle 5, right? National security organs are subordinate to alien authority. In addition to this allegation, is to state that the National Intelligence Service ensuring the safety and are responsible for gathering intelligence, share it with all our law enforcement agencies. Consequently, when the country was caught flat-footed, regard to the scope and extent of the public finance bill, which generated in a pointed to the failure of the national service. I am persuaded that the National Intelligence Service ought to have known before the public was ill, and they ought to have briefed the president before the protest began. This would have caused act by government regarding the bill and the protests which culminated in the lives, destruction of property. Hence, I expressed my opinion on this in my public Asa, and my utterances were any different what happens in other countries when there is a lapse of by the nation has witnessed fortunate instances of several extrajudicial actions and verily believe that if the National Intelligence Service had intelligence under the Constitution, government agencies are supposed to be accountable to the Kenyan people in and calling them out when in a dereliction of duty. I am also aware that the Kenya Kwanza government has forefront calling out officers who do not seem to understand their work. Recently, my boss publicly complained that some PSs and CSs did not seem to understand their role. For me, Mr. Speaker, President William Ruto, my boss, and I have been calling out Director General accountable Kenya, and I have had an argument all out. I'd like you to play video. Yeah. Nataka tumwambie ule mtu anaitwa mtu ule sijui anaitwa yule anaitwa nini? Honorable members, that was President William Ruto as Deputy President criticizing IG Mutiabai, Jai Kinoti. Rigathi Gachagua has learned job. Public officers must order when they fell short of expectation. And I never saw anybody bring William Ruto here for impeachment or criticizing the IG. This is a very unfair. It is also reported by media that the IMF has warned about heading and during the people's dissatisfaction. The 2020. Many of you will know after the September 11th terrorist attack, the US intelligence agencies massively criticized, and an inquiry was even opened to investigate why their intelligence agency not able to detect what attack. All we are saying is national is accountable Kenya for conniving with cartels sector, and I am with, and I have nothing. I have seen work meetings back on coffee reform. Another allegation that concerns I am here to sense the issue of interest. I listen mighty motive. By virtue of agreement, a deposit 108 chama cha agreement which agreement RG that agreement leaders who are paid their status as of appointment. Agreement Kenya, for example, president would agree the other day, president on agreement. ANC would say the happened. But Kenya would be the position of the Assembly by Honorable Masika Wetangula CA. In accordance with Article Power Sharing Agreement, ANC and Kenya have a 30% share. Share is a what? National government position. This drives my utterances out embedded in all these agreements attached here. I heard this member say, President said the company will not. That is not. Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya does sources development of the Republic of Kenya are appropriated by the National Assembly of Kenya, where I am today. Deputy President help the President implement funds allocated and appropriated by the national. Therefore, not possible. Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has the capacity to deny any part of Kenya sources because of the decisions on how resources will be allocated for the development of Kenya are made here by the. If your area has no peace, don't impeach, don't accuse in this house area where you come from. Uh, the agreements are attached, therefore I don't them. Uh, Let me I inform our share having been and lessons learned from father sharing agreement by pronouncements highly harmful and incapable danger to national. The contrary, establish national Kenya quality executive our agreement based on the 50 sharing agreement that's not has someone any of my how it went out of as required Kenyans. Our video show all over the country. Speaker, copies of documents demonstrating my efforts within the mandate allocated to me by the President, the security programs and policy in historically marginalized areas is an XRG. That decision to embrace the broad-based government following the cabinet after the Gen Z protest. Catch my video during the launch of the Honorable Raila Odinga's Quest for You chairmanship at State House, in as a demonstration by embracing the people of the magic call and some money. Moments. As a country, Kenya for the right right to that as a honorable in that amount. Il join I allowed. I don't let's be enjoy appearance. When transmit from a national to an African state and somebody with fire and the right is a photo and we wish not just the right approach I can actually the role of the country or how you have in happy back here. Moments. Lot of how I pass up anchor up of the right from an Africa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. President William Ruto many times my people and has repeatedly have the video line.
Come up.
Thank you very
And
much.
speaking of
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In addition, and almost in conclusion, I am not the only leader at the national level who has encouraged unity of Kenyans, that region, Africa, economic, and that's several articles where unity is not optional. Top put case for Gema College, Ikenda, unity, the offing. I leaders in unity talks ahead of next year's. I have attached those articles. You understand that regions uniting does not mean they unite against others. Unite for common issues, common values, strengthen them, join other regions. Motion dated 26 September 2024 table makes the generalized claims that have committed crimes and national proceeds of crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act, Penal Code, National Investigation Act, corruption and crimes. Basis are the claim that say that the threshold of impeachment has been met. Not aware of any active actions by agency, offenses, laws they have brought upon training. Just like any other Kenyan, the assumption of innocence in relation to criminal offenses, so the contrary is proved law. Therefore, in the absence of agency, can be any serious reason if that happens. Otherwise, that will be of intelligence agencies. Therefore, it is probable threshold of the impeachment as defined in Article 5 of the Constitution based on the perception of over of the motion in the absence of any other evidence. Had this morning said, all we need to do is live in it. I believe need actual evidence. Net effect of the impeachment of this basis of evidence has not been tried and tested in court of law or by bodies mandated to investigate, qualify me from the in relation to Article 29 without the benefit of law and exhaustion in terms of appeal. I do not wish issues I had this morning that I want to confirm. I have never expected them. What has happened is, as politicians, there is under somebody, anybody, evidence ever expected that person. I had my very great friend say that I disrespect women. Many times I've been to Nyandarua. I've referred Honorable Tau, other. Other is a name, one of great that I have done countless time. Finally, Honorable Bay, I had said for it, had this and my sister, me, I'm a great friend. I remember last administration when I was at judges, which of the actually came and sat with me, comforted me. At court, she completed the collection of 12.5 as my he came to at very quite what you have said, my love you and finally, Mr. Speaker, as I wind up, I want to appeal to this honorable house. Consider the allegations against wait against matched evidence, wait against my defense and the attachment, exercise, and exercise. Search your and decide any allegations if you are and you search your without it and you think if search your listen that habit any member Adigasha. Others his family were that he and Christian day announced himself another day. Chagua and he did the same Saturday. Try, look, correct by your conscience. Thank you. And my address last night, not in any fight, Mr. Speaker, you having ruled that the matter should not be being discussed in every TV, every meeting. Kenyans did not have a chance. I decided since petitions against everywhere in the people of Kenya, also those served also and us responsibility and concern.
Very much, David President. Thank you very much. Yes. Silence. Play of your legislative maturity. Yes.
Thank you. I had one. standing order. Secondly, that there was compliance standing order 67B. The third one, standing order 67A also requires that the council that the completeness.
Council for this.
So much. Thank you. Presenting deputy things as follows. Honorable Victor Smanya Geto. My name is Elisha Hong. George Sakim Sandegwa George Kandati Waigwa Murig Mande Amos Eric Miss Ya Omamba Tom Maina Masharia Willie Pesa and Mr. Andrew. That is all.
Thank you.
Within the pressings of Parliament, save for Senior Counsel Paul Kibugi Mwite, not to be excused today, but is part of this team, and we are under his supervision.
Thank you. Mwengi. Yes, Kaluma.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Our prayer at the end always church. Address us this afternoon. Document. Matter. Thank you. Fairly. Fairness. Parties. First, the intelligence. Standing 10 minutes. Thank you, Honorable.
The request does not. I want, where's Mutu? Have 30 minutes by before I call minority leader to 30 minutes. Want to share an indication that you wanted to share 10 minutes to Kaluma. Pardon? I know. I am organized. Not going to be. I'm aware, Robert.
I 10 minutes. Deputy Major will advise the rest.
Honorable Mutuse, only you have the right to a second bite to the. The seconder has no right to a second bite. So if you have as all the minority, Kaluma will have 10 minutes to donate. Minority leader, now it's your time. Have minutes.
Speaker, thank you for affording me this opportunity. The onset, Honorable Speaker, minority supports the motion removal from office by impeachment Honorable Gachagua. Of course, Mr. In Kenya, and yesterday it was clear to all Kenyans see for themselves the danger this country is. The Speaker, the impeachment of the Deputy President is not merely a procedural step. Rather, it's a reflection of our commitment to accountability, the rule of law in the country. Honorable Speaker, the integrity of government and the stability of our nation is at stake, Mr. Speaker, this evening. Honorable Speaker, national security is at stake. Honorable Speaker, the economy is at stake. Honorable Speaker, the EP, since he assumed office, we have witnessed nothing but abuse of power, discrimination against communities, insubordination, disregard for the two levels of government, corruption, bullying, and many other actions that undermine the rule of law, Mr. Speaker, as well as actions that are unethical, illegal, and that severely breach public trust as contained in the motion by Honorable Wenge Mutuse, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in supporting the removal of the Deputy President from office, we are rejecting the invitation by Honorable Gachagua to accept tribal bigotry, Mr. Speaker, skewed resource allocation, and the exploitation and domination of minorities as fait accompli in Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I move forward, or before I go on with what I wanted to say on the motion, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this chance first to respond to some of the issues that he has raised in the House a few minutes ago, or his responses, Mr. Speaker. The first place, his response has came very late in the day to the House, Mr. Speaker. He tabled his response at 4 p.m. in the evening today, Mr. Speaker. And he should have done it either yesterday evening or this morning, Mr. Speaker, so that the House can get enough time to peruse what he has said, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one of the grounds that is being accused regarding Gachagua for impeachment is the issue of what he calls shareholding, Mr. Speaker. He has said Kenya is a company with shareholding. But in his response, he comes here and tells the House that he did not mean that. What he meant is that he was talking about political parties, Mr. Speaker, and listed the political parties that have formed coalitions within Kenya Kwanza, Mr. Speaker, including Ford Kenya, ANC, PA, and all other parties that have formed what is called the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Mr. Speaker, I want to contradict what he's saying, what he said by saying that political parties are national in nature. Ford Kenya is a national party. ANC is a national party. All the political parties that formed a coalition with Kenya Kwanza are political parties that are of national. Mr. Speaker, in this country, under the Constitution, you are not allowed to form a tribal party. You're not allowed to form a religious political party, Mr. Speaker. You're not allowed to form a Mulima political party, Mr. Speaker. That is very clear in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. And if the Deputy President is not aware of that, I can read out for him, Mr. Speaker. Under Article, Mr. Speaker, 91, every political party shall have a national character as prescribed by an act of parliament, have democratically elected governing body, Mr. Speaker. And it also says in part 2, a political party shall not be founded on a religious, linguistic, racial, ethnic, gender, or regional basis, Mr. Speaker, or seek to engage in advocacy of hatred, like what he does sometimes, on any such basis, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you cannot equate political parties to what the Deputy President has been propagating for the last 2 years in this country, Mr. Speaker. The Deputy President has told Kenyans in no uncertain terms that Kenya is a shareholding company.
Order, honorable members.
And if you
Order.
do not vote, for Kenya Kwanza, you do not have any shares, Mr. Speaker.
Order, you're gone. Gone.
Members now are excited, happy with the vote and go home. I know what they are doing. I know, but let's prosecute the matter. We have to respond to the issues he has brought to the House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, political parties are not equal to regional and ethnic conglomerations that the Deputy President has been advocating for the last 2 years. Mr. Speaker, I want to give him a good example like ODM. ODM has sent the other day 6 experts under the broad-based government, Mr. Speaker. 6 experts. Where are those experts coming from? One is from the coast. Beatrice School is from Turkana. Oparanya is from Western. Attorney General is from Kisumu. The Speaker, when he's talking about 30% of Ford Kenya and 30% of ANC, he thinks those positions were given to lawyers as a community, Mr. Speaker. When Ford Kenya is a national party, those positions belong to members of Ford Kenya who are in Mombasa, who are in Migori, who are in Kakamega, who are in Bungoma, who are in Eldoret. Ford Kenya has membership in all the country, has membership, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, that ground is not, he cannot controvert that ground by saying that he was talking about the power sharing within Kenya Kwanza. No, he was talking about ethnic groups, Mr. Speaker. He said this government was formed by 2 ethnic groups, and that's how they are going to share power, Mr. Speaker. So that ground stands, Mr. Speaker, and that ground is reachable, Mr. Speaker. The other issue, Mr. Speaker, I want to respond to that he has raised is the issue of national security. He said that the NSIS, Mr. Speaker, can be called out whenever they are out of order. Mr. Speaker, and Deputy President, the National Security Council, Mr. Speaker, doesn't need to call out any government organ in the street, like the people hear things in the street. The man who's every governance organ of this country, Mr. Speaker, all organs of government, all governing organs are also oversighted by committee. What happens, Mr. Speaker, in this country? Every member of parliament goes out there castigating governing bodies and bodies of governance, Mr. Speaker. We are going to have anarchy in this. Mr. Speaker, I'm not convinced that he has answered in any way that question as to why he's getting bodies like the NSIS and out there when he's that ground, Mr. Speaker. I feel that, Mr. Speaker, he has not given answer that question. Mr. Speaker, the issue of justice, that he was attacking her because of the judgments rendered against her. And he said that he had filed a petition to the Judicial Service Commission. Once equity must come with clean hands. You cannot castigate a judge, rallies, burials, and then you want JSC to listen to you. You can't have both ways. You wanted JSC to that matter. If he was unhappy with the way the judge has asked Mr. Speaker, have castigated her in a burial, Mr. Speaker. I've talked about her in a very meaning manner. I've kept cool and filed his petition to the Judicial Service Commission. That account, Mr. Speaker, he has failed leadership and integrity under the Integrity Act, Mr. Speaker. And on that account, he is impeachable, Mr. Speaker. My last point, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the renovation house or the deputy president, Mr. Speaker. Remember the deputy president, when he was assuming office, when he was taking oath of office at Mr. Speaker, the way he lectured us, the way he told us that they have inherited empty coffers, Mr. Speaker. There is no money in this country. The former regime has looted and gone with everything, and goes ahead after 2 months at his house, official residence, over 100 million, 5 million. Happy, Mr. Speaker. Where has that money come from? Where has that money come from? He has not convinced us in any way how that money was spent, how those companies were paid, and on that account, because of misuse of public resources, that account. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. When we gave ourselves, we knew very well that we were coming where we cannot impeach the president, cannot impeach the president. Kenyans gave themselves, and they put their Article 150, knowing very well that one day they will hold their leaders, the president accountable. And they gave that mandate this House, Mr. Speaker, and the Senate, Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I was shocked under the public participation was saying that Kufa cannot allow the driver to die. We have witnessed a situation where the Makanga wants to take the steering by force. What happens after that? The driver carrying 5 million Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, cannot allow the driver to die because 5 million Kenyans are going to die with him. But the Makanga, who's just hanging at the door there of the matatu, can go, Mr. Speaker, if he misbehaves, Mr. Speaker. And if you're not doing his part properly, Mr. Speaker, the easier one to go first is the Makanga, because Makanga is the one who should be telling the driver what they're telling us here from Makanga, Kufa driver. The petition of the driver is not with us in this parliament. The petition we have, the motion we have before us today is the motion of the Makanga. And we are going to deal with him perpendicularly and thoroughly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell the House that us, the people, minority, the Azimio people, Speaker, they have lived like orphans in this last 2 years. Why do I say so? The taxpayers. Some of the places that contribute to the highest taxes in the country are areas that are dominated by Azimio. When somebody comes here and tells me, you're not a shareholder, you're not going to get services, you're not going to get development, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Does the taxes that are paid by the Azimio count for nothing? Mr. Speaker, and it is coming from the high office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the time we are going to correct this, that it never happens again, that we don't have another Deputy President who comes later. Because when we impeach this one, another one is going to be appointed. This is a lesson to the next one, that if you behave, we will just take you through. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by saying this. Let us not personalize office. Don't have any bad faith. Don't have anything that we are holding against the persona of Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua. We are dealing the office of the deputy president currently occupied by one Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker. The office holder. And let us not personalize. The office does not belong to him, does not belong to anybody. This is a constitutional office. The Constitution has prescribed how to deal with you when you misbehave in that office. Mr. Speaker, for Kenya to become cohesive, Rigathi must do what? Rigathi must, for Kenya to become cohesive, Mr. Speaker, I was telling members, for Kenya to unite, Rigathi must, Kenya to prosper, Rigathi must, for Kenya to have unity, Rigathi must, for shareholding to end in Kenya, Rigathi must, for us to have a peaceful country, Rigathi must. That is the how we are going to.
Kimani Ichu.
Honorable Speaker, opportunity. Honorable Kwezi, the impeachment of the deputy president. What Honorable Mutuka was asking me, not just as a parliament for of majority party house to do, time to reflect, ask mighty God, guide me right thing. Honorable Speaker, I pray to God that the Almighty God may give me wisdom to do that which is right. Not just what is right, Honorable Speaker, what is just. Just outgoing Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, but also just, more importantly, just Kenya hand out numbers in voting a government passion and unity and offer them opportunities to excel and prosper as a people. Honorable Speaker, as I prayed for, I was also conscious that what is right, not always popular. And being a son of the mountain, representing people in the Mount Kenya region, clear to me that what may be popular today not be right. That is why I ask God that what is right on a, and I am here today. What is right for Kenya? I am here to do what is right, not just for the Mount Kenya. I am here to do right for the greater good of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. And that is why I rise, support this impeachment. Honorable Speaker, having listened to Honorable Mutuka and all the grounds, and having looked at the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, and I would beg for us to look at Article 150 on the removal as to why they remove a deputy office. First one, ground of or mental incapacity to perform the functions of the office. Have no capacity to determine physical and mental capacity of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. But on impeachment ground, the first ground of a gross violation of a provision or any other law. The question that begs whether one Rigathi Geoffrey Gachagua has contravened or has grossly violated one provision of our Constitution. And I think the Honorable Ecomas was able to state this morning that Rigathi Gachagua has violated not one, but over 8 provisions of our Constitution, which I agree with Honorable Mutuse. And for that reason, Rigathi Gachagua ought and must be paid. The second ground, Honorable Speaker, is where there are serious reasons. And Senior Counsel Kende Amolo went to great length this morning to what serious, when you give a serious reason that the Deputy President has committed a crime under national or international law. Honorable Speaker, behind the veneer of humility that you have seen here, behind the veneer of humility that Kenyans saw on National Sunday, pretending to apologize, the dark face of violence, a dark face, Honorable Speaker, that is a great danger to our nationhood, a great danger to our republic, a danger to the progressive our nation as we Honorable Speaker. First ground on the remark of Senator pains me, Honorable Speaker, majority that as a parliament and also as a son of the mountain where I come from. That's Honorable Speaker, today, the community I come from, depicted as a community that is entitled and privileged. Are a community, Speaker, that serve for other Kenyans and other communities in the Republic. We are a community that is known for our hard work and resilience, not for entitlement. We are a community that is peace-loving and that believes in the unity of one indivisible nation and Republic of Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua does not live in the country. He lives in parochial, selfish, regional, and sectarian interests. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, ought and we should impeach the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. Honorable Speaker, we need to ask ourselves who took an oath of office, Honorable Speaker, and we swore in the Almighty God that we will obey, respect, uphold, protect, and defend this Constitution. And today, Honorable Speaker, what we are being asked, all those words, oath of office, all took either with the Bible, Holy Quran, our right hand, that for a man who has grossly violated, whether we will stand up today to be counted, protecting and defending this Constitution by sending home one Rigathi Gachagua. I want to say I rise to the occasion today. What is right, and to reaffirm that oath I took the Bible in my right hand. Obey, defend, and to protect this Constitution. All so to defend. I call upon all of you to defend this. Honorable members, Kenyan country, if as the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua went to great length, Honorable Kende Amolo told you have to spend 2 hours on national TV, spend corruption, tell the world how you are not corrupt. You are definitely corrupt. Honorable Speaker, the Deputy President with the legal team submitted their defense 8 p.m., imagining that we will not have the time to go through the document. Go through, I think Gachagua was telling you, on Olive Garden Hotel, claims that this hotel was sold by executors a third party. Honorable Speaker, if you peruse through the document, the third party that is said to have bought this hotel, Honorable Speaker, allow me, Honorable Speaker, first to take joint executors of the bill of 8 Governor Gachagua, Rigathi Gachagua, Advocate Torega Regeru, and one who was said to have been his Wai Madenge. Honorable Speaker, court filed in court by the bill filed on this year says in the joint will execute will make this dependent the beneficiaries and without influence from any beneficiary, except for one who is both a beneficiary and an executor. Joint will executors does not have the same attributes and mandates as for trustees, where beneficiaries play a part as what this is saying, Honorable Speaker, a document filed in court, is that Rigathi Gachagua, as a joint will executor, was also a beneficiary of the estate of his brother. He was not only a joint will a beneficiary, purchaser for value of the estate of his late brother. Olive Gardens is said to have been sold to one gentleman that to many of us, Honorable Genji, the member for, will tell you that the gentleman who is here is a purchaser for value for Olive Gardens. One Jomo Mushira was a candidate in constituency. He is a direct proxy of one Rigathi Geoffrey Gachagua. Honorable Speaker, I must confess, I'm sorry to send Peterson because I know him. I just called him this afternoon when I saw this document. And I asked him whether TM Civil Engineering company, and he I therefore want Olive Gardens was based proxy of Peter with and TM Civil Engineering Limited. Those who have visited Annex House office, though this Jomo is a permanent fixture, the office Deputy President, and therefore his proxy. Honorable Speaker, we are also told, Honorable Speaker, that this very hardworking young Kenyans, in terms of Keith Ikino Rigathi and Kevin Gachagua Rigathi, are listed on CR12 of the afternoon by Rigathi as shareholders of Vipingo Beach Resort that owns the Vipingo property county. One the Honorable Chonga was speaking about. Rigathi Gachagua told Kenyans on national TV that this property is owned by the family and therefore is part of the state. Keith Ikino and Kevin Gachagua sons are not joint will executors of the estate of Gachagua. And owners who are listed, Kevin Gachagua Rigathi, and the estate of the deceased James Eritu Gachagua. A rather way of trying to hide behind a state of late brother. And how shameful, Honorable Speaker, that Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya would hide behind the veil the state of his late brother, guys, what is outright proceeds of crime. Because he is a purchaser of this property, and that is why his two sons are listed as directors, shareholders of Vipingo Ridge. But he was national telling Kenyans, this is a property family, and we have decided to keep the House of Records. Could we give the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua an opportunity to be heard so that we can expose his lies in broad daylight or this early in the evening? And I want to tell Kenya and all of you, save this country from dark face, honorable member. Save this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, because of time, I know there was alluding, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the time this company, which Resort, was formed, it was founded on 5th August 2008. I would guess if Keith Gachagua is 31 years old today, at the time this company was registered, only 15 years old or 14 years. He cannot have been listed as a director. His younger brother must have been 12 or 13. For heaven's sake, Deputy President, give some credit. Honorable Speaker, we also had the issue of shareholding, Honorable Speaker. And we were told a coalition agreement, and you are then the leader of Ford Kenya. And you know you never subscribed to shareholding our coalition agreement within Kenya Kwanza. Anybody who subscribed to the Kenya Kwanza coalition was subscribing not to shares, but to an ideology, a shared ideology, not shareholding, as Rigathi Gachagua wants Kenya. Honorable Speaker, by saying, Honorable Speaker, that the mountain is mountain is intact. The mountain is intact. The mountain is intact. The mountain is named after Kenya because it belongs to all the people of Kenya. We must end ethnic balkanization.
Give him another 3 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying to conclude, end the balkanization of our country into ethnic fiefdoms under the control of warlords. We must send Rigathi Gachagua home today. End divisive politics in our country. Rigathi must to end the culture of impunity, conflict of interest, abuse of office, state capture, and corruption in high office. Rigathi must, for accountability, for there to be integrity in the political governance of our country. Rigathi Gachagua must, for leaders in high office, to bear policy and political responsibility. Rigathi Gachagua must, for national unity, for the fight against graft to bear fruit, for peace and prosperity of our nation as one in a whole, one nation under one flag, one people who love their country, who love peace, want to see a cohesive and working government serving them. Rigathi must, Rigathi must, I submit, Rigathi must go.
Thank you. Honorable members, the Honorable method time as follows. Charles Nguna, CNN, start with 3 minutes. Moko member will follow with 3 minutes. Peter Kaluma will follow with 10 minutes, then he himself 15. So, CNN.
Let me thank the Academy. And to add the, I keenly and listened to the president yesterday, Excellency. And Mr. Speaker, a lot of contradictions, totally eminent. We are going to, Mr. Speaker. Inevitable that we are going to have battleground. The deep and the president. And when they both fight, that's servers. And it's that why that continue is, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans are going to suffer most, Mr. Speaker. And based on my wisdom, for prosperity, development, for what we call prosperity and patriotism, and for us to live amicable manner and manner, Mr. Speaker, we have to separate the postman, Mr. Speaker. And the motion today, it is for Rigathi, not for William Samoei Ruto. Thanks, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Welcome, member.
Honorable Speaker, there's a question which makes me stand to speak on. I want Kenyans and possibly members who can listen to me realize that one issue that has not been answered consistently is the question of chairs. Yesterday, I listened to the Deputy President, and today, whenever he's asked about shares, Honorable
Members,
Speaker,
can we read levels of
thank you, Honorable Speaker. Whenever he's asked about the issue of shares, he picks ANC party agreement and Ford Kenya party. And instead of answering that question, he hides in it. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I'm now holding by Gachagua, and on page 33, the agreement is annexed. And I want to demonstrate to this parliament that what you have been told was because that agreement does not talk about just power sharing for a region. He has avoided intentionally to read the entire paragraph, which says that the sharing of the political also depending further the need to achieve an inclusive government that affects the face of Kenya, including the need to accommodate the representation of any future member party and all regions of Kenya. He avoided to read that, and the impression that there was a power sharing agreement confine ANC party. Western ANC party is a national party. Honorable Speaker, the only member of the ANC party we nominated was our Honorable Ena Hamis, comes from Kwale and not Western. So this is an issue which has not been tackled. Two, is unable to deal with senior counsel Tienda Molo's assertion in the morning. How would you elevate of a political party beyond the constitution of Kenya? Important that as you make your decision, get that this was a false lie. Honorable Speaker, in all this we have seen all techniques, card stacking, propaganda, card stacking, emotional appeal, standing, and that's why we have seen the name of the president dragged in this matter today. I think the motion on the floor It's for the makanga. It's not for the driver. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
By that and
I thank you, and I want to thank all the members who I rise to support. Had not given my voice to, but as you earlier, Honorable Speaker, I believe the Honorable Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya was following the House. One of the matters, Honorable Speaker, that came out so clearly, Honorable Speaker, was the impact of women, Honorable Speaker. Women from substantive position, country, national development, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I expected that when the Deputy President came to the House to address this matter on a special way, Honorable Speaker. But I did not hear him. I did not hear the Deputy President. Sorry. I did not hear the Deputy President and Honorable Rigathi Gachagua answer to the question of saying that one member of the House, the chair, Honorable Speaker, it concerns me. House, how, who witnessed him, a chair, and how he felt. We want, because we are women, Honorable Speaker. It's not Malaya, these are mothers. It is not boys. Malaya, sisters.
Time up. Kaluma. Kaluma. Honorable members.
I thank you. The Honorable Speaker, I thank you in a very special way. Honorable Speaker, I have this benefit of speaking after listening both to the of the motion and to the Deputy President, who is the subject matter of this motion. So, Honorable Speaker, I can look at it from all perspectives. Honorable Speaker, allow me to start by saying that I listened to the Deputy President, as I did to Honorable Mutuse, with the mind of a lawyer, looking at how the grounds have been addressed, their particulars, and how they have been addressed by the two respective parties. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by saying that I don't know what happened, but we had Honorable Mutuse presented before this assembly a motion seeking to impeach the Deputy President on up to 11 grounds. And Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether it is by act of omission or commission, or it is just the nature of some people. The Deputy President focused on those matters concerning property, money, integrity, procurement, forgetting the most fundamental issues. So I want to say that even when he addressed those money issues, there are very patent gaps going to constitutional violations which are stated in the motion to be gross. I expected the Deputy President, for instance, to use the opportunity you accorded him, Honorable Speaker, to explain that SMS which came from his son Ikunu Gachagua on the bid bond issue involving that company. No mention of that at all. Honorable Speaker, before I go to the matters I want to address in substance, let me thank you, the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, ensuring that the process this House is going through has been fair. Honorable Speaker, for according and upholding and protecting the seven of the. I hear courts will intervene. Thanking you because time the courts intervene, party procedure fairness was advertised a country for. Allow me to iterate this short data in 140,200 Kenyans at President pitched. That constitutes 5.11%. 1,000 Kenyans said they pitched. Coming percent of those 1,200 Kenyans said Makanga, Kupa, Derep, the others. Honorable Speaker, terms of our constituency, town constituency, 1,080 Kenyans sent, pitched. That constitutes 9.81% population of the people of 4 Kenyans in town constitute 5%. Said the 1056, other percentage there said, let me clarify the issue. Courts have persisted, said that public participation, you made it open. That's involved. Open that day, Friday, to the public on that order. And really, there is not. Public participation is Kenyan token. And on public participation, Isaac. Honorable Speaker, because I'm running fast, termed. Honorable Speaker, if you look at ground one, you take it lightly. But Honorable, the idea of the unity of a nation has been the one thing which has been disturbing Kenya in terms of being a nation for very long. Honorable Speaker, allow me to jump off the. And this is what it says. We, the people of Kenya, proud of our ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity, and determined to live peace and unity as one indivisible sovereign nation. When the Kenyans were making this decision, they identified the need for unity as one people, as one thing we have to deal with. Honorable Speaker, I request the members to look at Article 4, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution. Kenya is a multi-party democratic state founded on national values and principles under Article 10 of the Constitution. And Honorable Speaker, people have said so many things. But let me say today, before this House, Honorable Speaker, that Article 10 of the Constitution, the spirit as a soul, Constitution as a spirit, then you can only find it in Article 10 of the Constitution. At Article 10, Sub-Article 2, those national values which were identified by the people of Kenya during as the things which Kenya needs to address are the following, honorables: patriotism, national unity, sharing and devolution of power, rule of law, democracy and participation of the people, human dignity, equity, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, and protection of the marginalized. Honorable Speaker, at the very heart of a nation is equal ownership and equal sharing in the resources of the nation. It cannot be, therefore, Honorable Speaker, that a state officer at the level of the president is singing to other Kenyans how they are shareholders and they don't belong to this country. Honorable Speaker, it saddens me that having given him the deputy president did not offer a defense, the president did not offer an apology, but the deputy said other people are doing it. Honorable Speaker, let me say an impeachment motion proceeds in personam. It proceeds against a specific person. They say Kufa dereva, Kufa Makanga. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, it does not matter. This motion we have is against a person. You cannot have a motion against Kaluma and somebody. Those who are saying Kufa driver, Kufa Makamba, the driver, and we also the merit. And on account of that, Honorable Speaker, this person must go. Honorable Speaker, in the few seconds remaining, let me say that when Westgate came under attack, I lost a cousin in the Jackton Port, the first one to be shot there. When Garissa University came under attack, Honorable Speaker, I lost Solomon Oludo from Marindi, son of our land I educated at primary school. Honorable Speaker, we have no problem holding the security apparatus of the nation to account. But Honorable Speaker, we cannot have a situation where you talk that recklessly public about our national intelligence service being functional. For a state which is permanently under terror, target, and attack, the way in the Security Committee, each minute they are fighting terrorists. You cannot speak that way and come back and say it is normal. Honorable Speaker, how can you be a principal assistant to the president when each time the president leaves the country, you are organizing rallies to incite ethnic animosity against your own? Honorable Speaker, how can you be a principal assistant to His Excellency the President when the President is having a press conference in Nairobi and you are having a separate one instead of standing with the nation? Answer to say that the President, in fact, there is a problem and it's a dysfunction.
Adverts, President in his news, and also recording of yesterday because they are material. This week I have table documents. The course of debate, members had referred to them, and therefore it is only fair that they are part of the record. Mr. Speaker, allow me to thank
Documents.
I want to be very brief because I know the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya wants to make a decision on the matter of impeachment of His Excellency Gachagua. Mr. Speaker, to begin, thank members of Parliament, both sides of the House, first debate in terms of the motion that we presented for the House. I also want to thank Kenyans, there are millions all over the public, because of the debate, Kenyans have been demanding Kenyans right through public participation, their right to vote, and we have not witnessed as violence anywhere in the republic. There had been that table and impeachment a person of the magnitude of the president. There may be violence, lives. I thank Kenyans. Kenyans have proven once again that we are a peaceful country and we are able to engage in our democratic processes without violence. Mr. Speaker, allow me to examine some of the come through the response. First, let Kenyans know that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has filed a response, 501 pages. And the response has come at 4 p.m. I was only being able to be given the response. And therefore, in terms of the doctrine of farms, I feel that I needed adequate time that I may be able to reply, respond to some of the things that he has. However, be that may, I want to refer members to page 99 of the morning. I did tell members that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has acquired properties, corruption, and through money laundering. When he has come before this house, he has told you that the hotel that he acquired in Nyeri was acquired through a loan. However, the only document exhibited as evidence of that loan, the letter of offer from Credit Bank Limited. There is no evidence exhibited by Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, the current deputy president, the effect that the loan was actually finalized, the effect that he actually got the loan. Mr. Speaker, as a term of the letter of offer, terms of lien and set-off, and I read, lien and set-off for fixed deposits of LN Christ Kenya Limited for an aggregate amount of 300 million Kenya shillings. Just accrued shall be credited to the settlement account. In simple terms, what this means that Mr. Rigathi Gachagua had a fixed amount in cash. My allegations that he's laundering money are not true. Therefore, by virtue of his response, comes my that he has monies, he has wealth, he has cash that is suspect. In terms of whether Kenya is a company or not, yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to the Honorable say that the director for Credit Bank Kenya Limited is one Grace Nyachai, hails from Nyeri, and is a relative of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, and therefore I say no more.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Important for this house to note that in the morning, I did present evidence of suspicious money transactions. I did present evidence that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, either by himself or through relatives or through proxies, acquired properties that are way beyond his known source of income, and that evidence remains uncontroverted. Turning, Mr. Speaker, to the issue of whether Kenya is a company orders. Rigathi Gachagua is playing with intelligence members of parliament and Kenyans by attempting to twist facts. First, in terms of the law, companies are registered under the Companies Act. They are not registered under the Political Parties Act. So to come before Kenyans and to say that there were coalition agreements registered, and therefore those agreements are companies, play around with our intelligence. Because no, companies are registered under the Companies Act. They are not registered under the political. Further, Mr. Speaker, Gachagua has effectively chosen the sections of the Kenya Kwanza's coalition agreement to rely on, and he has failed to read the document. Under clause 20 of the Kenya Kwanza coalition agreement, that clause provides as follows: that there is need to achieve an inclusive government that reflects the face of Kenya. Gachagua chose not to tell us that the coalition agreement also talked about the face of Kenya and not accompany some people the exclusion of others. Clause 6 of the Kenya Kwanza coalition agreement provides for respect to constitutionalism. The articles of the Constitution that I stated. It provides for respect to the rule of law, provides for respect to the national values and principles of government under Article 10, and it provides for respect to devolution. Regarding Gachagua, not tell us that. Clause 22G of the coalition agreement among the Kenya Kwanza political parties provides that there will be adjustments that may be necessary to accommodate the development priorities of other parts of the country to ensure equitable distribution of Kenya's national resources and wealth for the benefit of every citizen and every part of Kenya. This, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua could not tell you. Yes. And therefore, members, I urge you to find that Mr. Rigathi Gachagua discussions about company was not influenced to political parties, influenced to regions, influenced to community, and the evidence that we provided means on this ground must be confirmed. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of KEMSA, again, to show a man who is afflicted. Yesterday on live television, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua admitted that he personally called Dr. Andrew Mulwa by his own phone yesterday on television. They appearing before us, denies that he did not call him. So, which part of the testimony? The testimony that he gave yesterday on national television that he did Andrew Mulwa and that he sent his own son, Andrew Mulwa, to collect the big fund, or do we believe the testimony that he has brought today, altered testimony for today? I urge you to find that Rigathi Gachagua did or influence in the issue of cabinet. The issue of cabinet, he has admitted and proceeded to justify that despite the existence of a valid cabinet decision in a that caused by that cabinet decision. That reason, Mr. Gachagua, by his own admission, must be reported to government. Yeah? And for the Assembly of the Republic of Kenya to authority, Rigathi Gachagua must judge member. Rigathi Gachagua, we have heard from us here, has made inflammatory remarks against the public. For the respect of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua must be impeached today. We have heard that Mr. Rigathi Gachagua has inherited those of his brother. And for the widows of Kenya, Madera, to be safe, Rigathi Gachagua must. And therefore, I urge members to fight one to clause, and as you go to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Take your seat. Right on, take a very file. Honorable members. order. House business operated. Yes. Done if they are orderly. Yes. Done if they are orderly. Done in the next 30 minutes to 40 minutes, maximum 1 hour. When we start voting, order. When we start voting, I'll instruct the clerk and the teller, having conducted yourselves exemplarily well, any member who precedes his or her vote with a preamble or a speech or a statement will be a spoiled vote. Once you are called, order. Time for speeches have extinguished in the debate. I now put the question. Of course, there are always three: yes, no, abstention. Order, member for West Mugirango. There's nothing out of order. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Articles 145 and 151B and 2 of the Constitution and Standing Order 64 and 65, this House resolves to remove from office by impeachment His Excellency Honorable Gachagua, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of Articles 10(2)A and B and C, 27(4), 73(1)A, 2 and B, 75(1)C, 129(2) of the Constitution, and Article 147(1) as read together with Article 131(2)C and D of the Constitution. 2. Gross violation of Articles 147(1) and 152(1) of the Constitution by undermining the President and the Cabinet and the effective discharge of the national government executive mandate. 3. Gross violation of Articles 6(2), 10(2)A, 174, 186(1), 189(1), and the fourth schedule to the Constitution by undermining devolution. 4. Gross violation of Article 161 of the Constitution on the institutional and decisional independence of judges. 5. Gross violation of Articles 3(1) and 148(5)A of the Constitution on the fidelity to the oath of office and allegiance. 6. Serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed crimes under Sections 13(1)A and 62 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act. 7. Serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed gross economic crimes under Sections 45(1), 46, 47(a)(3), and 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act and Sections 2, 3, 4, and 7 of the Proceeds of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act. 8. Serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed crimes by continuously misleading members of the public through false, malicious, divisive, and insightful remarks that are contrary to the provisions of Section 132 of the Penal Code and Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. 9, gross misconduct that is incompatible with the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President, a member of the Cabinet and the National Security Council. His Excellency the Deputy President has publicly attacked and undermined the work of the National Intelligence Service and its officers. 10, gross misconduct by openly or publicly insubordinating the President, who is the head of state and government. And 11, gross misconduct by persistently bullying state and public officers. I now direct that the division bell be rung for 5 minutes. Then thereafter, we will go into voting process. As we do so, can the whips give a yes, Jeanette?
Mr. Speaker, I propose that only the whips should be allowed to go out of the chambers, Mr. Speaker. The rest should remain seated. Yeah. Only the whips should be allowed to go out, Mr. Speaker. The rest of the members can sit and hold their things on the.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
Good evening. If you're just tuning in, the National Assembly has been debating the special motion by the Honorable Member Mwengi Mutuse on the proposed removal by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. The Honorable Member in the special motion did advance 11 accusations against the Deputy President, and among them is gross violation of Articles 10, Subarticle 2A, B, and C, Article 27, Subarticle 4, Article 73, Subarticle 1A, Article 2B, Article 75, 1C, Article 129, Subarticle 2 of the Constitution, and Article 147, Subarticle 1, as read together with Article 131, Subarticle 2C and D of the Constitution, that the Deputy President has persistently made utterances threatening to discriminate, exclude, and unlawfully deny sections of the people of Kenya and regions of the Republic of Kenya equal opportunities for public service appointments and allocation of public resources. Another charge is that the Deputy President has made unilateral public statements inconsistent with policy positions collectively adopted by the government and contradicted the President on critical matters of governance and the exercise of the President's functions as a symbol of national unity. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, interfered with the running of Nairobi City County Government by inciting citizens against lawful directives of the county government on the planning and relocation of markets and publicly disparaging the leadership of the county government and its decisions. Charge 4, that His Excellency, the Deputy President, has undermined the institutional and decisional independence of a judge through public attacks on a judge of the High Court of Kenya and falsely threatening to file a petition for the removal of the said judge in a matter in which he was a party. Another charge is that the Deputy President breached his oath of office and allegiance on account of the utterances and actions attributed to the Deputy President under grounds 1, 2, and 3. Charge 6, that the Deputy President has persistently made inflammatory, reckless, insightful public utterances over the last 2 years in contravention of the law. Charge 7, that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed gross economic crimes, namely conflict of interest, abuse of office, and conspiracy to commit crimes under sections by inexplicably amassing property estimated at 5.2 billion shillings, that is incompatible with his known legitimate income, and by trading with the office of the Deputy President through proxies. Another charge is serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed crimes by continuously misleading members of the public through false, malicious, divisive, and insightful remarks that are contrary to the provisions of Section 132 of the Penal Code and Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. Charge 9, gross misconduct that is incompatible with the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President, a member of the Cabinet and the National Security Council. His Excellency the Deputy President has publicly attacked and undermined the work of the National Intelligence Service and its officers. Charge 10, gross misconduct by openly or publicly insubordinating the President, who is the head of state and government, and charge 11, gross misconduct by persistently bullying state and public officers. The Deputy President was some minutes after 5 p.m. given the opportunity by the National Assembly to defend himself against these 11 allegations that have been leveled in this special motion which the members of the National Assembly have been debating today. And right now, the respective leadership in the House is whipping members to come into the chambers to allow the division to proceed. Remember that this requires more than 200 or at least 233 members of the National Assembly voting in affirmative, and they will be doing so through a roll call. Standing Order 65. Standing Order 65.
Honorable members, take your seats. Whips, you are satisfied your members are all in the House? Take your seats. Okay. You have 2 minutes. Members who are on their feet, take your seats. Thank you.
Standing Order 65 of the National Assembly provides for the procedure for removal of the Deputy President. And it says that where a member proposes the removal of the Deputy President on the grounds of physical or mental incapacity in terms of Article 150, Sub-Article 1A of the Constitution, Standing Order 63, which talks about procedure for removal of President on grounds of incapacity, shall, with necessary modifications, apply.
You'll have to do something about this mic. Take your seats, honorable members. Okay. Osoro and Millie, are all your troops in the House? I want to draw the bar. Draw the bar. Take your seats. Honorable members, you may take your seats now. Honorable Dani Wanyama, take your seat. Honorable Minority Whip, take your seat. Honorable members, I have been given the following as whips, as tellers. For the ayes, the Honorable Zaire Janda MP and the Honorable Jared Okello MP. For the nays, the Honorable Onesmus Ngogoyo and Honorable Jane Njeri. You may come forward and join the clerks at the table. Now the voting order, the voting will be as follows. Order. We will start by calling out the Honorable Samal, member for Isiolo, is it West? Isiolo North. You all know Honorable Samal has a condition and he needs to be assisted. So the clerk and the tellers will go to where he is. The clerk and one on either side, go and take Honorable Samal's vote. Once you are done, the constituencies are numbered alphabetically from A to Z. So we'll start with probably Ainamoi is normally the first, and we'll end up with the last. Pardon? Yes. Okay, Njoroge, take the vote of Honorable Samal, Honorable Kosge, and Honorable Wanyonyi. Then go alphabetically for everybody else. And when voting is going on, members, you must remain in your seats. You must remain silent and let the process go on uninterrupted, the same way you have been orderly the whole day. Of course, I put the question. Pardon? Yes? Toto has already indicated to the clerks that she'll wait and vote like everybody else. So she's not in a special case. Is Mother Wangara also lactating? I didn't know that. Now, clerk, those who are supporting the motion are voting yes. Those who are not are voting no. The tellers are, as I've told you, for yes, Janda and Okello, for no's, Kasheri and Gogoyo. Clerk, over to you.
Voting starts now. Isiolo North, Lomwa Joseph Samal. Westlands, Wetangula Timothy Wanyonyi. Nominated member, Jackson Kosgei Kipkemoi. Who will go there?
I, Tim Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament for Westlands, I vote no. I vote yes. I vote yes.
Order, honorable members. He has voted yes. Order.
I, Jackson Kipkemoi Koskei, nominated Member of Parliament, I vote yes.
Yes. I'll stop them. Yes. You are done with Honorable Samal? You can't talk. Honorable members, for the rest of the members, when your name is called, don't repeat your name. Just vote yes or no. Okay, go ahead, Njoroge.
Ainab Koi, Samuel Chepkonga, Aina Moi, Benjamin Langat, Aldai, Marian Kitani, Alego Usonga, Samuel Atandi, Awendo, John Walter Owino, Bahati, Irene Joki, Palambala, Shurie Abdi Omar, Baringo County, Florence Jamatia, Baringo Central, Joshua Kandie, Baringo North, Joseph Maglap, Baringo South, Charles Cameron, Belgut, Nelson Koech, Bobasi, Innocent Obiri, Bobasi, Innocent Obiri, Bamachoge Borabu, Nolfason Obadia, Bamachoge Chache, Alpha Miruka Ondieki, Bomet County, Lynette Chepkorir Toto, Bomet Central, Richard Cheriot Kilel, Bomet East, Richard Kipkemoi Yegon, Bonchari, Charles Onchoke, Bonchari, Charles Onchoke, Bondo, Gideon Ochanda, Borabu, Patrick Osero, Budalangi, Raphael Sauti Bita Wanjala, Bomula, Nelson Jack Wamboka, Bungoma, Kadri Nanjala Wabilianga, Bura, Kuno Yakub Ado, Bureti, Kibet Kirui Komingoi, Busia County, Omanyo Kadri Nahambi, Omanyo Kadri Nahambi, Butere Nicholas Tindi Mwale, Butula Joseph Oyula, Buuri Muruidhania Rindikiri Mugambi, Central Imenti Moses Nguchine Kirima, Central Imenti Moses Kirima Nguchine, Changamwe Omar Mwinyi, Chibalungu Victor Kipngetich Koech, Cherangani, Patrick Simiyu Barasa. Cherangani, Patrick Simiyu Barasa. Chesumei, Paul Biego. Chuka Iganga Ng'ombe, Patrick Ntwega Munene. Dadaab, Farama Alim. Dagoretti North, Beatrice Elachi. Dagoretti South, John Kerry Waweru. Eldama Ravine, Musa Sirma. Eldas, Adan Kenan. Elgeyo Marakwet County, Ngerechei Jepto Caroline. Embakasi Central, Gadhiro Majadonk Benjamin. Embakasi East, Babu Owino Ongili. Embakasi East, Babu Owino Ongili. Embakasi North, James Gakuya. Embakasi South, Julius Mawade. Embakasi West, Mark Samuel Mwenje Mureithi. Embakasi West, Mark Samuel Mwenje Mureithi. Embu County, Double N Pamela Njoki. Mgwen. No. Mgwen. Lelmegit Joseph Gipto. Emuhaya Omboko Milemba. Emura Dikir Johanna Ngeno. Endebes Robert Ukose. Fafi Yakub Farah. Funyula Oundo Wilberforce. Galole Said Buya Hiribae Said Poster. Ganze Charo Kenneth Tungule. Garissa County, Udgon Amina Siad. Garissa Township, Major Deko Baro. Garsen, Ali Wario Guyo. Katanga, Wakili Mureu. Gatondo North, Kururia Njoroge. Gatondo North, Kururia Njoroge. Gatondo South, Gabriel Gaduka Kagombe. Gem, Elisha Odhiambo. Gichugu, Robert Gichimu. Gilgil, Mother Wangari Wanjira. Gilgil, Mother Wangari Wanjira. Gilgil, Mother Wangari Wanjira. Githunguri, Gathoni wa Muchomba. Hamisi, Charles Gumini Gimose. Homa Bay County, Bensuda Joyce Osogo.
Pardon? Take the vote again. Order, Bensuda utaitwa tena.
Homa Bay Town,
Order, members, order.
Homa Bay Town, George Peter Kaluma. Igembe Central, Daniel Karido Kili. Igembe North, Taitumu Julius. Igembe South, John Paul Mwirigi. Ijara, Abdi Ali Abdi. Ikolomani, Shinali Bernard. Isiolo County, Mumina Bonaya. Isiolo North, Isiolo South, Bidu Tubi Mohammed. Jomvu Badibadi Twalib. Juja George Koimburi. Kabete James Gedua wa Mashukuru. Kabete James Gedua wa Mashukuru. Kabondo Kasipul Ivo Bara. Kabuchai Kalasinga Joseph. Kacheliba Lote Titus. Kacheliba Lote Titus. Kaiti Joshua Kivinda Kimilu. Kaiti Joshua Kivinda Kimilu. Kaiti Joshua Kivinda Kimilu. Kajiado County, Lea Sankaire. Kajiado County, Lea Sankaire. Kajiado Central, Memusi Elijah. Kajiado East, Kakuta Maimai. Kajiado North, Onesimus Ngogoyo. Kajiado South, Parashina Samuel Sakimba. Kajiado West, Sunkuya George. Kakamega County, Elsie Muhanda. Kaloleni, Paul Katana. Kamukonji, Hassan Yusuf. Kamukonji, Hassan Yusuf. Kamukonji, Hassan Yusuf. Kandara, Chege Njuguna. Kandui, John Makali. Kangema, Peter Kihungi. Kagundo, Fabian Chule. Kapenguria, Samuel Moroto. Kapsaret, Oscar Sudi. Kapsaret, Oscar Sudi.
Karachuonyo Okwome Andrew Adipo. Kasarani Karauri Ronald Kamwiko. Kasipul Were Charles Ongondo. Kathiani Mbui Robert. Keyo North Korir Adams Kipsanai.
Keyo South, Kipkoech Gideon Kimayo. Kericho, Kemei Beatrice Chemweno. Keses, Ruto Julius Kipleting. Keses. Quisero Wangaya Christopher Aseka. Kiamba Wanjiko John Jogona. Kiambu Waidaka John Mashua. Kiambu Waidaka John Mashua.
Kiambu Town. He's not here.
Kiambu Murada Ann Wajiko Mugo. Kibra Orero Peter Ochieng. Kibwezi Mbalu Jessica Nduku Kiko. Kibwezi West Mutuse Ekomas Mwengi. Kieni Wainaina Anthony Njoroge. Kieni Wainaina Anthony Njoroge. Kigumo Munyoro Joseph Kamau. Keharu Nyoro Samson Dindi. Kikuyu Eshungwa Anthony Kemani. Kilgoris Sunkuli Julius Lekakeny. Kilifi Mwanyanje Gertrude Mbeyu. Kilifi North Baya Owen Ya. Kilifi South Kiti Richard Ken Chonga. Kilome Zambia Thaddeus Kethua. Kimilili Mutua Didmas Wekesa Barasa. Kiminini Bisao Morris Kakai. Kinango Rai Samuel Gonzi. Gonzi Rai. Kinangop Tuku Zakari Kwenya. Voted. It's voted. Kipipiri Muhia Wanjiko. Kipkelion East Cheroro Joseph Kimutai. Kipkelion West Hilary Kiplangat Koskei. Kirinyaga Jen Jerry Maina. Kirinyaga Central Gitari Joseph Gashoki. Kirinyaga Central Joseph Gashoki Gitari. Kisauni Bedzimba Rashid Juma. Kisi Donya Doris Aburi. Kisumu Usia Ruth Adhiambo Odinga. Kisumu Central Oron Joshua Odongo. Kisumu East Ahmed Shakil Ahmed Shabir. Kisumu West Rosa Akinyebuyu. Kitui Irene Modoni Kasalu. Kitui East Nimrod Midhuka Mbai. Kitui Central Makali Benson Mulu. Kitui Rural Mboni David Mwalika. Nyamai Rachel Kaki Kitui South. Edith Vethi Nyanze Kitui West. Mokaya Nyakundi Japheth Kitutu Chache North. I will repeat from Kitui South. Rachel Kaki Nyamai.
She voted.
Yes. Nyanza Edith Vethi. Nyakundi Japheth Mokaya. Kibagendi Anthony. Kitutu Chache South.
Amesema? No. Kibagendi amesema? Kibagendi.
Kitutu Chache South, Kibagendi Anthony. Clive, Kitutu Masabak, Clive Ombane Gisairo. Konoin, Brighton Leonard Yegon. Kuresoi North, Mutai Alfred Kibrono. Kuresoi North. Okay. Joseph Kipkoske Tanui, Kuresoi South. Kuria East, Masairo Marwa Kitayama. Kuria West, Robi Matthias Nyamabe. Kwale, Masito Fatuma Hamisi. Kwanza, Wanyonyi Ferdinand Kevin. Lafi, Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdi. Lakdera, Mohammed Abdikadir Hussein. Laikipia, Jane Wangeshi Kagiri. Laikipia East, Festus Mwangi Kionjuri. Laikipia North, Sarah Paulata Korere. Ndio. Laikipia West, Stephen Washira Karani. Laisamis, Joseph Lekuton. Lamu, Monica Mudoni Marufu. Lamu East, Obor Weida Muhammad. Lamu West, Modama Stanley Moiruri. Langata, Felix Odiwor Kode. Kahangara, Larry, Joseph Mburu Kahangara. Likoni, Mishi Juma Hamisi Mboko. Likuyani, Innocent Maino Mugabe. Limuru, John Kiragu Shege. Loima, Akuja Protas Ewesit. Luanda, Dick Maungu Oyugi. Thank you. Nabii Nabwera Daraja Lugari. Lunga Chiforomondo Mangale Munga. Lurambi Titus Hamala Mkhwana. Maara Jafet Miriti Kareke Mbyuki. Machakos Joyce Kamene. Machakos Town, Caleb Mutiso Mule. Okay. Yeah. George Aladwa Omwera Makadara. Makueni Kiamba Susan Dunge. Makueni Women Rep Mumo Rose Museo. Absent. Can I repeat? Makueni Mumo Rose Museo. Malava Moses Malulu Injendi. Malindi Amina Laura Munyazi. Mandera North Abdullahi Bashir Sheikh. Mandera Umulkhair Kasim Sheikh. Mandera East Abdurrahman Hussein Wetan Mohammed. Mandera South Abdul Ibrahim Haro. Mandera West Yusuf Adan Haji. Manyata John Gitonga Mwaniki Mokunji. Maragwa Mary Wamaua Waidira Njoroge. Marakwet East David Kangogo Bowen. Marakwet West Timothy Kipchumba Toroitich. Marsabit Naomi Jilo Wako. Masinga Mwalio Joshua Mbithi Mutua. Masinga Joshua Mbithi Mutua Mwalio. Matayos Geoffrey Makoha Modanga. Madare Anthony Oluoch. Madioya Edwin Mugo Gishoki. Madira Kahugu Eric Mwangi. Matuga Tandaza Kasim Sawa. Matungu Nabulindo Peter Oscar. Is there? Yeah, Tandaza is there. Can I repeat Matuga? Matuga Tandaza Kasim Sawa. Okay, asante. Matungulu Mule Stephen Mutinda. Mavoko Kingola Patrick Makau. Mbera North Geoffrey Kariuki Kiringa. Mbera South Nebat Bernard Murioki. Mboni Nzioka Erastus Kivasu. Meru Kailemia Elizabeth Karab. Migori Mohammed Fatuma Zainab. Mogotio Kiborek Ruben. Moiben Phyllis Chepkemoy Barto. Molo Francis Kuria Kimani. Mombasa Zamzam Muhammad Chimba. Mosob Abraham Kipsang Kirwa. Moyale Jaldesa Guyo Wako. Msambweni Jaldesa. Okay, capture, thank you. Msambweni Badr Salim Faisal. Mount Elgon Fred Kapondi Chesebe. Muhoroni James Onyango Oyo. Mukorweini Gishoi Kagusha John Philip. Mumias East Salasia Peter Kalerwa. Mumias West Naika Johnson Manya. Moranga Betty Njeri Maina. Mvita Mohamed Saud Machele. Mwala Musau Vincent Musioka. Okay, done. Mwatate Peter Mbogo Shake. Peter Mbogo Shake. Thank you. Mwea Mary Maingi. Mwingi Central Gideon Muteme Mulyungi. Mwingi North Paul Musimi Nzengu. Mwingi West Charles Ngusi Anguna. Nairobi City Esther Mudhoni Pasaris. Naivasha Kihara Jane Wanjiru Njeri. Nakuru Chelule. Can I repeat Naivasha? Kihara Jane Wanjiru Njeri. Nakuru Liza Chepkori Chelule. Nakuru Town East Gikaria David. Nakuru Town West Arama Samuel. Nambale Mulanya Geoffrey Ekesa. Nandi Cynthia Chepkoske Muge. Nandi Hills, Panat Kibor Kitur. Narok, Rebecca Nonaishi Tonkei. Narok East, Lemanken Aramat. Narok North, Agnes Mantaine Pareye. Narok South, Olentutu Kitilai. Narok West, Gabriel Koshal Tongoyo. Navajolo, Emmanuel Wangwe. Daragwa, Gachagua George N. Ndiwa, Martin Peter Sowino. Ndia, GK George Masharia Kariuki. Njoro, Charity Katambi Chepkwony. North Hor, Guyo Adi Wario. North Imenti, Abdul Rahim Dawood. North Mogirango, Joash Nyamache Nyamoko. Nyakach, Joshua Aduma War. Nyali, Mohammed Ali Mohammed. Nyamira, Jerusha Momanyi Mongina.
Mohammed Ali is here.
Yes, he's voted. I repeat, Nyamira, Jerusha Momanyi Mongina. Thank you. Nyandarua, Getao Faith Wairemo. Nyando, Okelo Jared Odoyo.
Nyando votes yes.
Yaribari Chache, Zahir Janda. Yaribari Masaba, Daniel Ogwo Kamanduku. Nyatike, Tom Boya Odege. Nyeri, Rahab Mukami Washira. Nyeri Town, Duncan Maina Madenge. Oljororok, Moshira Michael Mwangi. Olkalau, David Joguna Kiaraho. Odaya, Michael Wambogo Wainaina. Pokot South, David Losiakau Kosing. Rabai, Mupe Anthony Kenga. I have been asked to repeat Pokot South. Pokot South, Kosing David Losiakau. Thank you. Rabai, Anthony Kenga Mupe. Rangwe, Gogo Linian Achieng. Rarieda, Amolo Paul Otiende. Rongai, Paul Kibetchebor. Rongo, Paul Abur. Roysambu, Agustin Kamade Mwafrika. Ruaraka, Francis Kajuang Tom Joseph. Roiro, Kingara Simon Nganga. Runyanjes, Karemba Eric Muchangi Njiru. Sabatia, Sloya Clement Logova. Saboti, Caleb Amisi Luyai. Saku, Raso Dido Ali. Samburu, Pauline Lenguris. Samburu East, Jackson Lekumontare Lentoijoni. Samburu North, Dominic Eli Letipila. Samburu West, Josephine Naisula Lesuda. Seme, James Wambura Nyikal. Shinyalu, Frederick Lusuli Ikana. Siaya, Odwor Christine Ombaka. Sigor, Peter Lochakapong. Sigo Awetsoin, Justice Kipsang Kemei. Sirisia John Waluke Koi. Sotik Francis Kipiegon Arab Sige. South Imenti Idinji Shadrach Mwiti. South Mogirango Onyego Silvana Sosoro. Soy David Kiplagat. Starehe Maina Mwago Amos. Suba North Millie Grace Akoto Diambo. Suba South Karoli Omondi. Subukia Kashobe Samuel Kenudia. Suna East Mohammed Junaid Sheikh Nu. Suna West Peter Francis Masara. Taita Taveta Lydia Haika Mnene Mizigi. Tana River Amina Dika Abdullahi. Tarbaj Hussein Abdi Bare. Taveta John Okano Bwire. Teso North Edward Kaunya Oku. Teso South, can I repeat Teso North? Oku Edward Kaunya. Thank you. Teso North, Oku Edward Kaunya.
Yeah, yes.
Sorry, Teso South, Otucho Mary Emase. Tetu, Geoffrey Wandeto Mwangi. Tharaka Murugara George Gitonga. Tharaka Nithi Susan Ngugi Nduyo. Thika Town Nganga Alice Wamboi. Tiati William Kamket Kasait. Tigania East Lawrence Puruaburi. Tigania West John Kanwithia Motunga. Tinderet Julius Melikibiwot. Tongaren John Murumba Chikati. Transoia Lilian Chebetsiyoy. Tarbo Janet Chepkemboy Sitiene. Turkana Cecilia Asinyen Gitit. Turkana Central Joseph Namwar Emathe. Turkana East Nicholas Ngikor Nixon Ngikolong. Turkana North Paul Ekwom Nabuin.
Is there?
Yeah. Okay. Turkana South John Ariko Namoit. Turkana West Daniel Epuyo Nanok. Wasingishu Gladys Chepkoskei Boss. Ugenya Ochieng David Ouma. Uriri Nyamita Mark Ogola. Vihiga Kagesi Kivai Ernest Ogesi. Vihiga Adagala Beatrice Kahai. Boy Hamis Chome Abdi. Wajir Fatuma Abdi Jeho. Wajir West Aden Daudi Muhammad. Wajir North Abdi Ibrahim Abdi Sane. Wajir South Muhammad Aden Ado. Wajir West Yusuf Muhammad Farah. Webuye East Martin Pepela Wanyoni. Webuye West Daniel Wanyamasitati. West Mogirango Mogaka Stephen. West Pokot Rael Chepkemoy Kasiwai. Westlands Timothy.
He is already voted.
Oh, sorry, we have done that. Sorry. Undanyi Mwakuona Danson Mwashako. Basil Robert Ngui Yata. Yata. Ali Abdisirat Khalif. Sabina Wanjiru Shege. Joseph Hamisi Dena. My vote yes. Joseph Hamisi Dena. Okay. Suleka Hulbale Harun. Dorothy Mudoni Kiara. Joseph Wainaina Iraya. Irene Joseph Wainaina Iraya.
He's voted.
Okay. Yes. Irene Nyakerario Mayaka. Umulher Harun Muhammad. Teresia Wanjiro Mwangi. No. Abubakar Ahmed Tali. Yeah. Abubakar Talib. Thank you.
You finished? Honorable members, order. Is there any member present who has not had his or her name called out?
Good evening. You are watching the sitting of the National Assembly this evening, where the members have been voting on the proposed impeachment of the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. It was through a roll call as directed by the Speaker of the National Assembly. And what is currently happening is that the tallying of the votes is underway, and thereafter the pronouncement will be made as to how the members of the National Assembly voted this evening. This special motion was moved by the Honorable Member Mwengi Mutuse, and in that special motion, he did list 11 grounds on the reasons as to why the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, should be impeached as Kenya's second in command. The Member of Parliament cited gross violation of various articles, and also he did cite serious reasons to believe that the Deputy President has committed gross economic crimes under Section 45, subsection 1, Section 46, Section 47A3, and Section 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, and Section 2, 3, 4, and 7 of Proceeds of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act. Those are some of the reasons that the Honorable Member believes that this House should take serious consideration of this special motion to dismiss the Deputy President, who we did hear from this evening between 5 and 7 when he appeared before the National Assembly and made his case, defending himself against accusations that have been leveled against him. And in a couple of minutes, we will hear the results of this division, this historic constitutional moment for the country. And all that you will watch live courtesy of the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. The National Assembly was guided by the standing orders, the procedure for removal of the Deputy President, where a member proposes the removal of the Deputy President on the grounds of physical or mental incapacity in terms of Article 150, Sub-Article 1A of the Constitution, Standing Order 63, which talks about the procedure for removal of President on grounds of incapacity shall, with necessary modifications, apply. And Part 2 of the Standing Order 65, where a member proposes to impeach the Deputy President in terms of Article 150, Sub-Article 1B of the Constitution, Standing Order 64, procedure for removal of President by impeachment shall apply with necessary modifications. So the members have been debating, and we will hear the result of this process anytime from now. Standing Order 64 of the National Assembly provides for the procedure for removal of President by impeachment. Now, the Standing Order 65 borrows heavily from Standing Order 64, and these procedures, they're quite a number, and some of them have been used in this business that the National Assembly began in the morning, and the culmination of it will be hard any time from now. And if you can see on your screen, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Gladys Bose, has taken the seat, and that means that she will perhaps be the one who will make the announcement after the tabulation and the tallying of the votes that has concluded, been done. The number required to vote in affirmative, according to the provisions of the Constitution, is 233 members. That is the threshold required to impeach the Deputy President. And there, the Speaker has returned. The Deputy Speaker had been holding fort briefly, and anytime from now, the Speaker will call for the announcement of the votes, which are currently being verified. It was a requirement that voting be done via roll call, and any moment from now, we will be hearing the result of that roll call. And just a quick recap of the 11 grounds which were outlined by the Honorable Member Mwenge Mutuse. That one, the Deputy President has persistently made utterances threatening to discriminate, exclude, and unlawfully deny sections of the people of Kenya and regions of the Republic of Kenya equal opportunities for public service appointments and allocation of public resources. Ground 2, the Deputy President has made unilateral public statements inconsistent with policy positions collectively adopted by the government and contradicted the President on critical matters of governance and the exercise of the President's functions as a symbol of national unity. Ground 3, that His Excellency the Deputy President interfered with the running of Nairobi City County Government by inciting citizens against the lawful directives of the county government on the planning and relocation of markets and publicly disparaging the leadership of the county government and its decisions. Count 4, gross violation of Article 160, Subarticle 1 of the Constitution on the institutional and decisional independence of judges, that His Excellency the Deputy President has undermined institutional and decisional independence of a judge through public attacks on a judge of the High Court of Kenya and falsely threatening to file a petition for the removal of the said judge in a matter in which he was a party. Number 5, that His Excellency the Deputy President breached his oath of office and allegiance on account of the utterances and actions attributed to the Deputy President under grounds 1, 2, and 3. And count 6, serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed crimes under Section 13(1)(a) and Section 62 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act, that His Excellency the Deputy President has persistently made inflammatory, reckless, and insightful public utterances over the last 2 years in contravention of the law. Charge 7, serious reasons to believe that His Excellency the Deputy President has committed gross economic crimes under Sections 45(1), Section 46, Section 47(a)(3), and Section 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, and Section 2, Section 3, Section 4, and Section 7 of the Proceeds of Crime and Anti-Money Laundering Act. That His Excellency, the Deputy President, has committed gross economic crimes, namely conflict of interest, abuse of office, and conspiracy to commit crimes under sections by inexplicably amassing property estimated at 5.2 billion shillings, that is incompatible with his known legitimate income, and by trading with the office of the Deputy President through proxies. Charge 8, serious reasons
Order, honorable members. Give me that. Give me this. Order. Order. Osoro. Order. Order.
Congratulations.
Order.
Speaker, congratulations.
Order, members, take your seats. Order. Angol, take your seat. Order, members, take your seats. I know. Where's the adjournment? Order, members, order. Take your seats. Order, honorable members, take your seats for the tellers. Take your seats. Honorable members, Haika, take your seat. Aburi, Aburi. Take a seat. Ongoyos, take your seat. Take your seats, members. All is well that ends well. You have been very orderly, and I must salute you. Tell us, you may now approach the chair and announce the
Honorable Speaker, responsibility you bestowed on me, Jared Okello, MP for Nyando, Zahir Janda, Honorable Onesmus Ngogoyo, and Honorable Njeri Maina, we are here to declare the results as follows, Honorable Speaker. The nays, 44. Abstentions, 1. And the ayes, 281.
Come forward. Order. Take your seats. Order, members, order. The House is still in session. Tellers, take your seats. Bensouda, take your seats. Order, members, order. Members, the results of the division on the motion are as follows. Abstentions, 1. The noes, 44. The ayes, 281. So the ayes have it. And the results brought to the Speaker are duly signed by all the 4 nominated tellers. Honourable members, I have a short communication following that. Order. The House is still in session. I have the following communication to make, honourable members, before we open the bar. On the decision of the National Assembly, on the special motion on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Honourable members, as I had guided the House earlier in today's sitting, Article 145(2) of the Constitution sets a threshold of at least 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly to vote in support of a special motion for proposed removal by impeachment of the Deputy President of the Republic for the motion to be carried. According to the results of the division on the motion that I've just declared, a total of 281 members, being more than 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly, have voted in support of the motion. Article 145(2)(a) of the Constitution provides that, I quote, if a motion under Clause 1 is supported by at least 2/3 of all members of the National Assembly, the Speaker shall inform the Speaker of the Senate of the resolution within 2 days. In this regard, I'll proceed to discharge the singular duty placed on me by Article 145(2)(b) of the Constitution and under which to notify the Speaker of the Senate of the resolution of the National Assembly. The clerk is directed to prepare the necessary documentations to accompany the resolution. The House will resume tomorrow, Wednesday, 9th October 2024, at 9:30 a.m. to resume with the regular business as scheduled by the House Business Committee. I thank you. Members, will you now be upstanding? Draw the bar. Draw the bar. Open the doors. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Order, members. The House will now be adjourned until tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. I have.
You've been watching the sitting of the National Assembly, where the House has approved the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on 11 charges. The special motion was moved by the Honorable Member for Kibwezi West, Honorable Ecomas Mwengi Mutuse. This broadcast has been brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in conjunction with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Edward Kabas.